This is Michael. ASMR. Do you ever have an itch that you just can't scratch? Well, you've come to the right place. Basically, we're just gonna scratch. A few minutes of scratching, right? What does that mean? How does that work? You can't actually scratch me, you are saying. No, but I sort of can. Scratch, 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 scratch. Maybe a bit more might help. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Itchy head. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Just a little one, just a little scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, scratch. What type of scratcher are you? Aggressive? Or just a little scratch? I just had a scratch there. Wouldn't this be ironic if scratching you is sort of now implying that you should have a scratch? On your body right now, you have a scratch. Now you do. There you go. Scratch, scratch. Have you ever had a scratch and then not scratched it, just to see how long you could go without scratching it? Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. You know, sometimes you don't even really scratch it with your nails or whatever. You just give it a bit of a rub. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch. Scratch. Scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Rub, rub, rub. Scratch, 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 scratch. Go away, itch. Scratch, 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 scratch. Scratch, scratch. Scratch, 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 scratch. We tend to think of cats and all their scratching, don't we? Clawing. You've bought a nice sofa. You have a cat. Goodbye, sofa. this sofa cost how much, owner? Oh, good. Scratch it, scratch it, scratch it, scratch it. Scratch it, scratch it, scratch it. The cat says, fuck your sofa. Scratch, claw, scratch, claw, scratch, scratch, claw, scratch, 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 scratch. Claw, claw, scratch, claw, scratch, claw, scratch, claw, scratch, claw, 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 claw. I guess claw is a little more violent. Claw, 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 claw. Scratch, scratch, claw, 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 claw. Scratch, 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 scratch. I think we have a different scratch for different parts of our body as well, if you think about it. Scratch, 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 claw, 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 scratch, 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 claw, 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 claw. If you think about it as well, scratching tends to be quite fast. A little half pain caused to get the fuck away, you stupid itch. If we do that sort of scratch where we're actually thinking, that's a slower one. Rubbing your chin. It's a bit slower. A contrived scratch. They say your bears sort of scratches. I've never found that to be a scratching place, scratchable, itchy place. itch. Scratch it.